Huyukila, 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 huyukila. Hinje mahino, heyukila, heyukila. Heyuyuhuwa, heyukila, heyukila, heyukila. Lile mahino, heyukila, heyukila, huha.
Be sure to take care of your face chonies. Make sure you wash them. I had to. Mishmin tuhis. Conracat Canyon, Coyote Woman, Sarah's Roods. Sorry, I could do that without the mic. I come from Indian Canyon Nation, aka Indian Canyon Mutsun Band of Costanoan Ohlone people. I identify as a Mutsun and California indigenous because I believe I have Chumash ancestry that I'm still reconnecting to. Two-spirit community member. Pronouns she, they, coyote. Daughter? Oh! Can I hear y'all say oh in 3, 2, 1? Oh! All right, good. I just wanted to hear that. Daughter of tribal chairwoman Anne Marie Sayers. I recognize my privilege being raised on the land of my ancestors' ancestors' ancestors, where both traditional and intertribal ceremonies transpire almost daily, where community members come to the land and pray and dance and sing and connect with the earth. I recognize how lucky I am and how much of a blessing that is. And I know right now my mother would want me to offer a song. And I want to offer this song in a good way. This is a Chumash grandmother's song that came to me differently than it was taught. And with this song is to honor our grandmothers, their grandmothers, and in all Mother Earth. For without them and without her, we would not be here. We share this time and space together for a reason. So it's with that humility, that gratitude, that present-mindedness that I offer this song in this space in a good way. I'm going to use my salik, aka clapper stick, and a rattle from Canoe Journey of intertribal culture sharing opportunities. And so this is Canyon's Chumash grandmother song. Moi moi o kawana, moi moi o ka, moi moi no, moi moi o ka, moi moi o nehe o konale, moi moi o konale, moi moi o kawana, moi moi o ka, moi moi no, moi moi o ka, moi moi o nehe o konale, moi moi o konale, moi moi o kawana, moi moi o ka, moi moi no, moi moi o ka, moi moi o nehe o konale, moi moi o konale. No son and oh, oh, the big oh. All right. So, you go ahead. Coming from Indian Canyon. Indian Canyon is the only federally recognized Indian country between Sonoma and Santa Barbara along central coastal California. The missions have devastated these areas. And so many times, people who have been misinformed with this history have tried to dismiss indigenous perspectives by saying, well, you wouldn't have the technology you have, or the missions brought civilization. No, we have our own governing structures, societal rules and regulations and protocols, and respect and reciprocity and teachings and pedagogies of being one with the earth, as well as responsible, because it is our sacred obligation. It is our responsibility to be good stewards of the earth. How are you being a good ancestor in training and caring about the next 7 generations? And so my mother, Anne Marie Sayers, her cancer is in remission. She is healing. However, she's in Indian Canyon right now. She would be here. And so she's like, you need to go, you need to represent. So I'm honored to be here as a cultural representative of Indian Canyon Nation. And I want to point out that it is because amazing beings like our tribal leaders, our elders, our mentors, and amazing allies. Because with our allies, community members who want to honor truth in history, standing in solidarity and respecting Indigenous protocol being acknowledging the land of whose land you are on, both the history and the peoples. Because if you are not on the land where your ancestors have always been from, you are a visitor. And so how are we being accountable to recognizing Indigenous protocol? I recognize my privilege because no one comes to our land and builds a bridge. No one comes to our land and builds a building and says, oh, by the way, do you have an issue with this? I recognize how lucky it is that I have this upbringing that my mother has afforded me, for people to come in a good way by offering gifts to the elders of our community, by speaking humbly and accountably, and engaging in a consensual interaction, and then finding out, is it possible to come back and continue that relationship building. And so I am honored to witness the communities coming together. And I am so humbled by the work of our these tribal leaders and our community members, as well as Kat and Greg Sealine, because they were there in solidarity with Indian Canyon as Indian Canyon had a prayer run from Mission San Juan Bautista into Indian Canyon for 4 years. And we're just a small little nonprofit. And so we had that. And I'm hoping that we'll have another run. So I hope you pay attention to our communities and the work of our communities, because today's a beautiful day, but the work is still not over. So I want to say thank you to everyone. And I'm going to employ a more contemporary action. I work with a lot of dance communities and other organizations where we engage in culture sharing and sharing of perspective. Now, I recently suffered a bulging disc and a torn meniscus in my knee, and I caught myself feeling very uncomfortable sitting. So for those of you who are able-bodied and want a moment to wiggle, I want to do a little workshop, a little tiny language sharing, language teaching workshop. So I encourage you those of you who are able-bodied, please stand up. Please stand up. The kids are gonna love this. All right. So I've been working on language revitalization of the Mutsun language. Fun factoid, if you recognize this symbol, live long and prosper, the Vulcan language and the Klingon language was actually a language that was developed by Mark Okrand. He got his PhD in Mutsun language and learned from many California native languages. So where's the humility there? So in my language, in the Mutsun dialect, Amah means people. Can I hear you? And we're gonna do a body movement. You're gonna say, Amah. All right, now we're gonna jump a little bit. We're gonna say, pide, pide, pide. And then we go forward one step, tak. All right, Amah, pide, tak. All right, now I'm gonna say, awas. So awas, awas. Now we're gonna put it all together. Amah, pide, tak, awas. Amah, pide, tak, awas. Thank you for saying people of this land, because Amah is people, pide is land, tak is location of, awas all being from. You are people of this land, and by acknowledging Indigenous protocol, you are honoring and acknowledging the Indigenous people of this land. So Amah, pide, tak, awas.